Keith is going to call our roll.
All right, well, Mary Thompson, chair.
Here.
Berta Altazar, vice chair.
Good enough. Here.
Was that close? I'm here. I'm the
Pretty
secretary.
close.
Byron Laws.
I'm here, present by phone.
Okay. Avery Walter.
Here.
Tori Dixon.
I'm here.
Gabriela Magallanes.
That was wonderful. I'm here.
Jacob Lemma.
Right here.
Tati Padilla.
Here.
Trey Roberts.
Here.
Jim Mello.
Here.
Betsy Morgan. Christopher Kazi.
Here.
Crystal Melvin.
Here.
All right, I think that's all. Did I miss anybody? All right, there you go.
All right, thank you. First item up is approval of the agenda. Marquita sent the agenda out to everyone. Are there any changes, edits that need to be done? Having here none.
Marquita, when did you send the minutes?
It went out yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I could forward the email back to you all.
I'll look it up. I just haven't had a chance to.
Okay. Okay.
Any edits? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve.
I
move to approve the agenda for December.
Tati, are you seconding?
yes.
Okay, meeting minutes for, meeting agenda for November is approved. For December, I'm sorry. I'm reading the,
November, right?
no, we're doing the agenda.
Agenda.
And the agenda
Aye.
is for November. All right. So now we are looking to approve the minutes for November. Any edits, comments? Not hearing any. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes for November 2020.
Motion to approve the minutes from November.
I second that.
Who seconded that? Is that you, Trey? Oh,
I
Jacob.
second that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll need to vote on that motion.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone that approves, raise your hand.
Aye.
I
Byron by phone.
I'll be abstain.
Who abstained?
Christopher? He was not at the last meeting. So the ayes have it. Meeting minutes approved. Is that appropriate, Mark? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this help. Any public comments? Do we have anybody that has?
No, I haven't received any requests for public comment.
Any emails or any other that we received from anybody?
No.
Okay. The next on the agenda is City Council. Stormy have we heard any word from Stormy? Has anybody in the staff had contact with her about this meeting?
We have not heard anything from Stormy. We've actually reached out for the statewide meeting as well as this meeting. So we can circle back again. I'll get with Stacy Lundy, who's her staff support.
All right, thank you. Chairman report. I think Marquita's report's going to have some pieces of mine. So I attended the city council meeting, and the biggest thing, I attended the city council meeting on 12/1. I also attended the planning committee meeting on 12/19. And they, there's a special, the city council normally is.
Wait,
completes their-
12/19, it's not 12/19 yet.
Excuse me, 12/9, sorry. Planning committee meeting was on 12/9. The city council usually have completed their year, but they're having a special city council meeting on December 15th, if anybody is available to attend. It's all virtual. And I've had the opportunity to attend the committee meetings that we've had over the last week or so. And I just thank everyone for attending and being ready, and all the members that stepped up to chair, and those that have not had the opportunity to attend a committee meeting, don't feel slighted. You'll be tapped soon. So we're going to get them all done before the holiday, at least have one. I was going to welcome our new member, but I guess I'll move that till next month. Any questions?
Who's the new member?
Oh, Scott Phillips is our new member. I think we mentioned that last time. The city council, he was on they had a list of people that are looking to be members, and he is now going to be the second alternate, and it's Scott Phillips. I sent a note to welcome him today, and he let me know he wouldn't be able to attend. So we'll look for him to be with us next month, and I'll reach out to him over the next few days about committees. So hopefully he can be part of one of the conversations we'll have. Hi, Patsy. Thank you for joining.
Hi. Sorry
Hi.
I'm late. I got a new phone and I had to download Zoom. I'm having a time. I moved and I have a new phone, so I'm kind of discombobulated. Sorry about
Okay, well then I'm really glad that you were able to join us.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next on the list?
Mary, quick question. I had a clarification. Did you say there's a meeting on December 19th? A city council meeting?
December 15th.
That's different from the Human Relations Commission statewide meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
This is the Raleigh City Council is having a special meeting on December 15th. And it's to talk about, well, actually, there's a few things on the agenda. Normally they would be done with the year. They would have their first meeting, which was on December 1st, and then they would come back in January, but they've added a special meeting. This is not normal for when they meet. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Okay.
All
And
right.
you just want someone from the commission to be present, or are
No,
they
if
discussing?
you have an opportunity to attend, I'm just letting you know what's coming up.
Got it. Okay.
Part of my report just is I want to give everyone information and things that I think would be helpful if you have the time. There's not a mandate but I think just to bring things up, opportunities for you to participate in.
Okay,
Jakob?
thank you.
Yeah. So do you know why they kind of made it that specific day? I'd like to attend, but I just want to know what they're gonna be talking about. Do we know?
One item. There's 3 items on the list, and I don't know them by heart. But I believe they're finishing up some activity that is just rolled over, and they don't want to wait until January to kind of finish things up. So I'm sure they have it's just that's why it's called a special meeting, because
Okay.
it's not in the normal track of how they meet.
Okay, that sounds good. And should I contact you after?
No, you can go to the city council website and look for their link. And
Okay.
it links you right in.
Okay, sounds good.
And you can do that for all their meetings. We can watch it. You don't even have to watch it that day. You can watch it whenever, it's all recorded. It's on YouTube. It's all recorded. So any other questions?
Just want to say the link is in the chat for Jakob or anyone else so you can go and see what the agenda is. And Demetrius has put the link straight to how to view the meeting. So you'll have the information here. Should be helpful.
Also,
Did I see another hand, Keith?
I wanted to know, apparently this meeting is being recorded and Mary says it showed up on YouTube. So, be warned. You're going to show up on YouTube. Sometimes, I don't know who put it there, Marquita, but.
So that, look, Dacia's raising her hand. So that's the new protocol for just trying to make all the boards and commission meetings more accessible to the Raleigh residents. So that's something new. So they're recording it. Following the recording, we send it to RTN and they upload it. So in that last email I sent you all, I have the link in there. I think I put something like, your meetings will be on YouTube now. And here's a link. So you click on the link and you'll see not only your board of commission meeting, but others throughout the city. So yes, thanks for the warning, Keith.
Be warned.
Yes. So, but it's also a great opportunity to be able to see the other boards and commissions and what they're doing. So if you have an interest, or we're talking about partnership, right? This is an opportunity to see what people are doing, what they're talking about. And maybe that ties into something that we want to do. So I look at it as a great opportunity. You don't have to slug to all these different meetings. You can actually just look at them in your leisure, which I do sometimes. Any other questions before we move on? Okay. All right, staff.
Good evening, everyone. So good to see everybody. So I'm Dr. Audrey Caesar, Executive Director of the Office of Equity and Inclusion. We've switched and it's been months. Every now and then I forget and revert back. But so for today, I have 2 items that I want to share with you all. One is to remind you of the statewide human relations meeting that'll be taking place on the 15th. I believe that is Wednesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Tuesday.
So it's Tuesday. And it's from 9:30 to 12:45. That's a long time. I think there will be one break. I don't plan to talk that long, but just to give you an idea of what's on the agenda, we're going to have Marshall Adams David, who is Raleigh's newest city manager, speak. She's going to give the welcome. We have requested that Stormy Fort, who is your council liaison, be present at the meeting. I'm going to follow up probably first thing tomorrow morning to see if she's confirmed that she's going to be there. But it'll be a good opportunity for her to hear the work that Human Relations does, not just here in Raleigh, but across the state. So it would be great to have her. Additionally, I'll be giving a presentation on our office and the transition that we've made. Back when I started back in January of 2019, we were the Office of Human Relations, and I was the executive director of the commission. But we have since shifted. We shared that information with you all. But other municipalities and commissions have asked how we did it. And they want to know what changes were made and what our structure looks like. So we'll be presenting that information, as well as how we came to the creation of the Police Advisory Board. Apparently that's a hot button item nationwide, and folks want to hear kind of, how we started the process. And you all, and many of you who have been here a while, you know how we started the process. Community has been coming for years and years and years to provide some input and share and express the need for something like this through a series of community engagement sessions. And then here we are. So I'm just going to be sharing a little bit about that process. And then following my presentation, we'll have Toussaint Romaine, let me say it correctly. And he is from the statewide Human Relations Commission. He's going to be sharing some opportunities to collaborate. So at the state level, you have a group of representatives that come from all across North Carolina, and they're really going to be looking to municipalities to set the agenda and to offer feedback in terms of what type of work we should be doing to move North Carolina forward. And we're also going to have our North Carolina Association of Human Rights Workers, or NCNIRO. There will be a presentation about membership. So as a commission, you all can decide if you want to be members of this organization. And it's a group that started way back. I'll say way back in the day. Let's just say that. And this is during a time when civil rights was really taking off and being a big part of the work that human relations did. And it kind of in the 90s kind of waned off. And so some commissions stopped being members, and the association as a whole kind of, it didn't phase out, but it kind of just slowed down and membership was minimal. Well, they're revamping it and relaunching it. And so this has been a year-long process to create the executive team and then start to create opportunities for education so that all human rights workers or folks on human relations commissions like yourself can receive that continuous training on issues that impact the work that you do. So you'll hear about all of these things at the statewide meeting on Tuesday, the 15th. So 9:30 to 12:45. Second thing that I wanted to talk about is the Courageous Community Conversations that will be a partnership between the City of Raleigh and Shaw University's Center for Racial and Social Justice. We are in the process of creating a steering committee and an advisory committee to inform how we set these conversations up and how we approach the whole setup for the conversations. The idea is that we know that several conversations have happened in the past. The idea is not to negate what has happened, but to use some of the data and the results from previous conversations to inform how we move this forward. We want to create an action plan for the city from these direct conversations. And we want to do so in a variety of ways. So maybe some quantitative data via surveys, and also qualitative data from focus groups or small group or community dialogues. We also want to have an artistic component to this, where folks who may not really feel comfortable expressing themselves out loud and in public, but maybe they can contribute artistically via pictures or paintings or dance or any type of creative expression, maybe even a poem. So we're working to create what this is going to be. And the time frame is going to span from July or January. Gosh, man, I'm getting my J's mixed up. It must be late in the day. I'm struggling here. January of 2021 through June. So that's the time period for all of the work to happen. The reporting piece will happen after June, after all the data has been collected. So right now I'm working with Dr. Johnny Hill from Shaw University, and then also Sarah Baker from the mayor's office to really pull together who's going to be on the steering committee, which will be in charge of the planning, and then the advisory committee, which will be in charge of the implementation and communication about these sessions. This is going to be a really big deal. We're looking to engage several groups. It's like a big stakeholder group. We're looking to get the county involved. We're looking to get the schools involved, but also have a good representation of community members and some of the smaller nonprofits that are boots on the ground working with people in the community. We want diverse representation across as many racial and ethnic groups and socioeconomic diversity as well to be included in this. So that's kind of an overview of what it is. I can tell you we're building the plane as we're flying it, because that's how things typically go. So maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll have more information to share, but right now it's really about assembling this planning committee, folks who are going to be responsible for setting up the conversations. And any questions?
Any questions? Okay. All right. Thank you. Marquita, did you want to talk about the shared drive?
Yes. Okay. So I have a couple updates for you. So in regards to, I know the last meeting you all were requesting like a storage space to house, instead of all the emails that are coming out with different documentation. I'm working with IT now, and we're going to utilize a shared drive through Microsoft Office Suite. And so what will happen is being created now for your specific commission. And so what will happen is when it's created, I'll send a link out to you all, and that's where all your documents, like it's a safe, secure space for you to house your documentation for your meeting, documentation for your specific subcommittees. So that'll be soon. So by the next meeting, that will be up and running, and you all will receive that information. Any questions about that? And I have another announcement. Okay, great, because it's straightforward. Secondly, just coming down the pike, this is fairly new, but we in the Office of Equity and Inclusion, we are going to pull together the leadership from all of our boards and commissions, because one thing that we're hearing, we just went through a season of most of the boards and commissions having their retreat. And one thing that we're consistently hearing is that you all want to contribute in a great way by providing resources or something to the community that they need. And another thing that sparked that was, I think it was Trey that sent out an email about the 27610 and COVID rates, right? And so seeing that, and then some other boards and commissions were having that same conversation. I think the Substance Use Advisory Commission was having that same conversation. What can we do now? So what we're going to do in our office is we are going to pull together the leadership from each board and commission soon. The notice probably will go out within the next week, and come and create something like we're looking for like a board and commission, maybe a day of service. So there would be something where we would leverage the resources from each board and commission to provide PPE, other resources that the community needs. So if it may be home safety, fire prevention, what else were we talking about? Oh, warm clothing, toiletries. So something that we can do and really coordinate together and partner with even in addition to the boards and commissions, but partner with other organizations and other departments, maybe within the city of Raleigh. I mean, this thing could be as big as we want it to be, and to make a really great impact throughout the community. So I want to let you know that this is coming down the pike, but we're going to start with the leadership first, just so it's not a group of 100 people, and then they'll disseminate that information back out to the group. And I thought that HRC is wonderful because you have your public safety committee, and that's part of that work of that group. And so we will need a board or commission to spearhead this and kind of take the initiative. And so I was thinking about who better than the Human Relations Commission to maybe spearhead some of this planning work. But at that meeting that we're going to schedule and get everybody on, we can talk a little bit more about that further. So if you have ideas or just thoughts and things that you see that the community needs, be thinking about that, because your leadership will come back to you, will ask for those ideas. Team, did I hit all that? Because we kind of met about this beforehand. Okay, perfect.
Anything else? Any questions? Thank you, Dr. Caesar, and thank you, Marquita. Appreciate it. Everything that you do. All right, now we're going to have committee reports, and we actually have committee reports. I'm so excited. And we have chairs that are not me. I'm so excited. You guys don't know. So let's start with the grants. Gabriella or Keith? We have two for everyone. We have two co-chairs for the grants committee and for this time period, and it's Keith and Gabriella. So take it away.
Keith, I can start. I don't mind. So Keith and I will be co-chairing the grants committee. There's a total of 6 of us, I believe, on the committee. The big thing that we'll be doing is we will be receiving many different applications for the human relations or human services grants. We award about $500,000 out to various organizations within Raleigh. The grant deadline is in January. I do not have the specific
22nd.
deadline. Thank you. January 22nd. We will be reviewing everyone that applies. And then from that point forward, we're going to be Marquita and her team of staff. Is that right, Marquita? You have a team of City of Raleigh staff that will be kind of putting together all the applications.
Right. Yeah, we're going to go through preliminary review to make sure they meet the eligibility requirements.
Thank you. After her team has deemed that all of the applications have met all of the eligibility requirements, our committee will receive them beginning February 3rd, and we'll have about a week or so to go through all the different applications. Something new that we'll have this year is that we're going to have like a grading rubric that we'll use to review each of the applicants. And so Marquita, I believe we're just waiting to receive that from you. Is that right?
Just a correction. We did have one last year. It just wasn't, we're looking to improve it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Keith, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, we talked about bringing the, since I guess I'm the only one in this committee who's done this before, we're looking to bring the new members up to speed and show them what the grants look like, what the rubric looked like, what issues we have, how a lot of these nonprofits have applied, last year or in previous years. So we wanted to see what they have to report to the city on on how they've met they promised to deal with a certain number of people and provide a certain number of services, and they have to report quarterly. So we're going to provide that information to the members of the committee. So we're trying to make sure that everybody is up to speed and ready to do this, even though most people are new at it. So we're going to do the best we can on that.
Any questions? Comments? Okay. Community Relations and Celebrations Committee.
Hey all, how are you? So we are meeting on a regular basis, and we actually had talked about doing long-term planning for the celebration, not just the big one. Remember, we have the February big event. Hopefully by then the COVID will be gone, and our governor would loosen up the rules, hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed. So, but if that doesn't happen, we'll think of something virtually we can do, maybe within the smaller community, reach out to the community by us going to the community centers, things like that. And we'll probably, instead of doing those are the two big main things, but the other one, the banquets, I think what we talked about, instead of doing one big fancy banquet, is going out to the community and take that budget and go out to different parts of the parts of our different districts and doing that. So we haven't really done much just because, you know, we don't know what COVID is going to do, whether we're allowed to gather, whether we're allowed to do any kind of celebration, but that's the idea.
Berta, are you going to chair this?
Yeah, I'm
group?
the chair. And for the record, my hair is not purple. It just looks like this in the light.
I was going to say.
Write that in the meeting.
I like the purple.
I like the purple.
I did too.
Put that in the minutes, Keith.
I love it.
Anybody,
You want me to mention that? Can you provide a picture for the minute? For the...
I will.
any questions about the Community Relations and Celebration Committee? All right. Communications Committee. Trey?
Hi. First of all, I want to say it's my first time cheering anything, so I'm excited about this. So I want to say,
I just want to let everybody know, Trey raised his hand as soon as he got on the phone. He couldn't do it fast enough.
So we met and talked about the Unity video that we're going to create. So we discussed possibilities of doing two videos, but with the same content. One's longer and another one is shorter. So we can share it in different platforms in different ways that really don't minimize that message. And we talked about ideas of people who we could talk to and identify in the community and where in the community. We suggested that we record them in multiple places in Raleigh. So not just the person, but the backdrop of our city. It plays an important role in that. Another thing we talked about is putting a message on our Human Relations Commission's page. Right now, me and Tori are probably going to work on trying to create a message of unity to put onto the front page. So that's what we talked about in our first meeting. I hope I summarized that good.
May I add something to Trey's? So I think because we're working, Gabriella and Mary and I believe Tori, right, Tori?
Right, yeah.
On the Unity project, right? So I think at some point, maybe we may need to meet and kind of, you know, share notes, because we've done some of that. We, you know, Gabriella and Mary and all of us have already put something together. If we guys can kind of meet up at some point, that would be great. Kind of communicate what the city wants with us. We'll have a meeting. Does that work?
Berta, we shared that with them.
Do they have access to our worksheet?
Yes.
Okay, is this about what so I think what we need to.
So let's table your piece of it, because we're going to talk about that under old business.
All right, that's fine. Yeah,
Let him just,
fair enough.
Okay, let's just get through the committees and then
Thank you, Trey.
we'll come back to that. Thank you, Trey. Public Safety Committee, and now Tori.
Yeah, this is a area that I'm very excited about, given the unfortunate events earlier this year in the spring and in the summer. They re-emphasized the importance of public safety and how that is central to our work in trying to develop harmony between human relations. And we have for the Public Safety Committee, we have a 5-member committee. After one unsuccessful attempt, we were able to successfully get a majority of our members to meet yesterday. And during that meeting, we accomplished 5 things. Number one, we selected our chairs, starting with Keith as being a co-chair. And given the shortage of numbers, I also ended up being a co-chair. But we also talked about the importance of how did the work of this committee overlaps with the work of so many other committees, not only throughout human relations, but throughout the city. And so we think it might be important to get some other representatives from some of the other commissions to come in and to have a space during some of our monthly meetings. One of them being a representative of the newly formed Police Advisory Board. We're still working on who that might be, who might be the best person to do that. And if they come in and speak, we want to hear from them, and we want to also talk to them about how our work can collaborate and what our priorities should be. But also the fire chief, the new fire chief, Herbert Griffin.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And also the police chief, Cassandra Deck Brown. And so we think that that would be a good starting point to set the tone for where we need to go and focus it on public safety. And the last thing that we talked about, we brainstormed about what the priorities, our priorities related to public safety should be, given the limitations of the ongoing pandemic. And of course, we are not able to have a public meeting unless it's virtual. And so that's an area that still needs some more development. So we look forward to trying to work that out in our monthly meetings.
Any questions?
I have a quick question. First off, thank y'all for your work. It sounds like y'all accomplished a lot during your time. Just for clarification, how does the work that the Public Safety Committee differ from the work of the Police Advisory Board?
Keith, you want to answer? You want me to answer?
This commission put a lot of work into trying to convince the city council that we needed a police advisory board. We passed a resolution which went to the city council. We participated with the staff in putting together a series of community meetings to see what whether the citizens, how they felt about a police advisory board, whether they thought it was necessary. So we put a lot of work into preliminary work into the creation of that. So now presumably they're going to do this work of dealing with the police, but we still, may want to hear from the police chief as to what's going on. I mean, this certainly affects human relations in the city. So I don't know. I think we need to talk to them, find out what their work plan is, maybe have a joint meeting and try and see who does what and where we stand, and if there's anything that we can do or should do, or whether they're going to handle this all on their own. Or I mean, I think it needs to be determined what our roles are.
Yeah, we have to realize that they weren't here last year. So this is now new, and we have to find out where our lanes are. And that's what we'll be doing over this time period. Where's our lane? Where's their lane? And the only way to do that is to look at each other's work plans, talk about what are you planning to do, and see if there's any gaps. Where's the gaps? Are we going to fill in the gaps, or are they going to handle the whole thing? So, Dr. Caesar.
Yes. So let me give you just an overview of what their work is for the Police Advisory Board. There is not a great amount of overlap because their focus is really on reviewing policy. They'll be getting their direction from City Council. They'll be identifying things that are happening in the community that are related to policing. And again, their focus is really on policy, but they do have an element of community engagement. And their role is to educate the community on policies and procedures, and then finding a way to bridge that gap between the community and RPD. So fundamentally, that is their role. Now, the opportunities for collaboration between the Police Advisory Board and the Human Relations Commission, well, the focus here is on promoting unity, promoting equity, harmony, those sorts of things. So you could definitely collaborate with the Police Advisory Board as it relates to community engagement. But I will tell you, they are in the very beginning stages. They have not yet developed a work plan. That's what they're going to be focusing on over the next couple of months, is really getting established. So they're writing bylaws and they're determining how they want to conduct themselves as a board and what is going to be their first community engagement activity. So that's where they are. So I would recommend give them a few months until they can continue, I would say, finish up the board development piece. And then mid 2021 would be a great time to say, hey, look, let's do something. I recommend a meeting now just to get to know each other, particularly the chairs, But later on, I would say let's give them an opportunity to get settled. And I would say the same thing for the Hispanic and Immigrant Affairs Board. Both of the new boards, Police Advisory and Hispanic and Immigrant Affairs, were born out of the Human Relations Commission. So I think in that sense, the Human Relations Commission is now focusing on exactly what you guys are talking about and doing now is how do we unify Raleigh? How do we make Raleigh a more welcoming place to be? How can we serve? And that's exactly the lane that you guys should be in. So I hope that provides some clarity, but there will be, if you look at a Venn diagram, you put HRC in the middle, you've got the overlap with Police Advisory, you've got the overlap with Hispanic and Immigrant Affairs, you've got the overlap with the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities, and the overlap with substance use. So there's always an opportunity to collaborate, and there are natural synergies that come from all of these boards that fall under the Office of Equity Inclusion.
That's good. So that kind of drives our that committee to do the inviting the fire chief and kind of staying out of that lane for a minute. But yeah, we can have maybe we still set up a meeting to introduce the chairs and just say, here we are, anything we can do.
If the Police Advisory Board is concentrating on policy, I think there's an opportunity for this commission to hear directly from the community about issues of human relations that they have with the police or the fire department or other city departments.
Have you read my work plan?
No, I just got it. I printed it though.
Huh?
I printed it.
No, I when you read it, that's what it says.
Okay, good.
Or that's what I'm trying to say.
I'll wait till later till I read it.
Can I make one more comment? And I also want you all to consider other areas of equity and other areas of justice. Public safety could be environmental justice as well. So there we have a growth in natural resources segment. We've got a sustainability board. We've got other boards and commissions that touch other factors. So I want you all to start being broader in your thoughts about what public safety really means. And it could mean that we take a public health perspective in looking at this, and safety might be, is your community safe? Or safety might mean, do you have food? Is your area food insecure? So I would say, look at that whole entire social determinants of health when you're thinking about public safety to kind of broaden your horizons.
Sorry if I may add, Dr. Caesar, also another thing that we never really talked about before, but it fits, I think, in that lane that we're talking about is the homelessness, maybe connecting. We don't have to do the work of, but I think public safety, if you go downtown, you see that. And I think like maybe somehow connecting the homeless people with the, the appropriate organizations that can help them, that kind of thing. But anyway, just a thought.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Yep.
Anyone else? Just writing notes. Okay, thank you. That was good. Good. Diversity Relations Committee. I don't know if that had a chance to meet.
No, we have not. I'm sorry. I'm chairing this one. We were working hard more on like setting up the long-term plan for the celebration. But I think there's a lot of cross work that we can do together, so we can between committees. So we will meet on a regular basis starting in January. Not much to report yet. Any ideas are welcome. Please feel free to suggest anything, if we can work together on the committees, that would be great.
Bylaws Committee. Chris.
Hey, everybody, this is Chris. Quickly, and I apologize, Mary, I may need to rely on you just a little bit for some of the notes. I walked out of my office this evening with my wrong notebook. So I have some of my notes, but not my nice notes I put together so I could talk like I know what I was going on. So if you could jump in any of the pieces that I have abstracted, I would greatly appreciate that.
Not a problem.
So the bylaws committee did meet. We did have a meeting to give ourselves a kind of a rough set goal and timeline of what we want to get done. As everyone, I'm assuming, is aware, is our bylaws are what govern us and how we operate and what we're able to do. And especially hearing about some of the police advisory questions, the things that are coming up, this is what the bylaws can help kind of clarify for us. We have found that they're a little out of date, needing to be updated and brought to a more usable tool. And so we will be reviewing and then updating those in somewhat of a rapid timeline in order to get those before the city council so that they can be done and we are able to operate out of a more efficient process. So what we have proposed is that the bylaws will go out, the most current set of bylaws will go out to everybody, and we will request any suggestions or areas of concerns or anything anyone sees that may be lacking that the committee can then work on and put together suggestions and corrections and everything to that, which could then be brought back to the commission to review, see if we have any further edits, and then eventually pass on to the city council for acceptance and approval that we can govern off of that. And we want to put a special request in that the committees really take a look at that and make sure that we need to identify any workings that the bylaws can do to support committee operation, which I think personally, I think they're lacking a little bit within that in the bylaw. So we want to put that request out for that. I don't have the exact dates that we had put down outside of making sure that we were going to share this with everyone this evening, but that will be coming in the email with everything that we're going to request. And that is everything that I had for my notes.
That's good. That's good. Gabriella, did you have anything?
The last thing I was going to add is that we also do have to add the new Raleigh Code of Ordinance to our bylaws. So this year, what's different with this commission is that we now have 2 alternates, and that is not in our bylaws yet. And so we will have to add that. I believe what Chris is suggesting is that everyone over the next month, take a look at our bylaws. If you have any suggestions, bring that to our meeting in January. And then I believe, Mary, is that when we'll make a motion to edit the bylaws?
We don't have to have a motion to edit the bylaws.
What do we need?
We have to approve them after you guys have finished going through everything. So right now, you just want the commission to look at the bylaws, make any suggestions, and then you're going to need time to, the bylaws team is going to need time to take those, integrate those comments, also integrate the changes that were done to the, what's the word I'm looking for? The ordinance. Actually, not even the changes that were done to the ordinance. Really look at the ordinance and make sure that that is communicated in the bylaws. I don't think that is. That's a missed opportunity. So after you've put that together, then we'll bring it and we'll vote on, well, you'll send it for us to review. We'll then vote on it, and then we send it to city council and they have to approve it.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
May I add, Dr. Cesar, I think you mentioned something one time last year before this committee was formed that the bylaws needed to be updated, correct? Because HRC as, not the bylaws, sorry, the mission statement. The mission statement was different when prior to last, right? Prior to your office being, you know, in charge of all this, or no?
Mission statement stays the same in terms of promoting human dignity and harmony. That has been the human relations mission, but the functions, I do think that some of the functions and the subcommittees and the way that you all work is different. So that does need to be updated so that it is actually consistent with mission. So there's a lot of opportunities, and Marquita, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got some language around the alternates. Have we already shared that information?
Yeah, so I shared it with the leadership team, and so I I'm sure, yeah, Mary distributed to the bylaws, so we have that language.
Okay, thanks. To Pierre's point, though, if you wanted to change the mission, that would have to be, someone would have to make a motion, everybody would have to vote, have some discussion about if you want to do that.
I'll leave that to the bylaws committee if they want to bring that forward. So everyone is sending their notes. If you do want us to review and look at the mission statement, that's part of what you need to send to the bylaws committee. We're going to let them look at that whole package. Any other questions or comments for the bylaws committee? Thank you so much. Nominating committee, I didn't create a meeting. I don't know if the two of Crystal and Avery, I don't know if you two got together by yourselves.
We haven't met yet.
Okay, so I will send out an invite.
Okay.
We'll get you guys up and running.
Thank you.
Or not, because we really don't have anything for you to nominate right now, but to work on right now, but at least we'll talk about your mission.
Thank
All
you.
right. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about around committees before we move on? All right, old business. Now we can talk about the video.
Yeah, I was just wanting to work with the communications committee because they met separately with the city. Then we might need to meet at some point to put our ideas, with their feedback, and kind of come up with the new, the new parameters, with our project. If we can just schedule a meeting, that would be great.
So just to catch you up, the meeting that the communications committee had yesterday, I had invited you and Gabriella to that meeting to talk about the video project at the very beginning. Gabrielle was able to attend. So in that piece, we gave them, Gabrielle gave them access, gave Trey, because Tori already had access, gave Trey access to our worksheet. And we talked about the next step being to go to talk to whoever in the communications team in the city to talk about how this would work. And I think that's where we left off in our last meeting as a project team, correct? Berta?
I'm trying to see why I wouldn't have known about the meeting or not.
Oh, no, I'm just.
Sorry. I would have connected the two. Maybe I just thought you were talking to the committee. I'm sorry, to the communications people, but I don't know what the outcome of the meeting is. Maybe you and I can catch up later and let me know what they say.
All right, so the outcome is that we're going to, next step is to talk to somebody in the city about the parameters of doing this.
So Trey, Trey, you haven't met with them yet?
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you. That's all. Yeah.
Right, this meeting we had was to catch everybody and being on the same page.
Gotcha, okay. Sounds good.
I have a question for you. Did you set up the Zoom link yesterday of the communications committee?
Yes, I did.
Did you happen to record it?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
Right.
I was gonna say, that would have been, because if you just happened to, then we could share that with Bertha and then she could watch it and be able to be filled in.
You know what? That's a good point. Next time we have a committee meeting and not everybody's there, I'll turn on the record button. What a great idea. So I should have thought about that. Thank you for that one.
Oh, Absolutely. But that also brings up another point. Are we supposed to be taking minutes at the meetings, at like our committee meetings?
No, no.
Okay.
That's up to you to structure how you want to, but you will report out to this committee. Right? If you need to take notes and minutes for that, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. It's not that structured. I'm just happy that you're meeting and we're moving forward.
Yeah, and Mary, just to add, I think, we value everyone's opinion. I think at any point, the members here need to, kind of jump in, and if they come up with ideas or want to be involved, they're more than welcome to, since this is our project. Just encouraging everybody to kind of weigh in.
Right. Right. So we kind of outlined the project in our last meeting. And I think after we have the meeting with the communications team in the city of how we're going to actually structure this, we'll have much more to talk about and maybe have some volunteer opportunities for some others to help us with this project. Anybody have any other questions about the project at this time? Comments? All right, if you think of anything, you know the chairs now. You can send an email very easily. Chime in. All right, new business. I sent the work plan out to everyone. For homework, I'd like everybody to review and make comments and send it back to me. I think I'm making I think I'm a little out of order because I think we were supposed to approve it today. Were we?
It's on your timeline. So what you're doing now seems like it makes the most sense. So yeah, give them time to review and
Okay.
we have a holiday. Look at it next. Yeah.
We have a holiday in between. So not much is going to happen with life with everyone from now. So if everyone would take an opportunity, please walk through it, read through it, make comments. Won't hurt my feelings. I want it to be a document that's ours, not mine. So please take the time, especially the committee section. If I've over promised, I don't want to overpromise anybody's time or anybody's effort. So please make sure you look at that and get back to me. And then we will approve. I will edit and we will approve in our next meeting. So I need to get that back. And I hate this because it's New Year's. But I need to get that back before, I'll say December 28th. I need to get that back from everyone. That gives me plenty of time. And if I have questions to ask folks, I have an opportunity to go back and ask you. I'll put something together and get that out so that, sorry, I'm doing this. I should have already thought this through. I need to get back from you before Christmas. I need to get back from you by the 23rd of December, any edits to the document I sent today. And then I will have it sent out to everyone around New Year's or that second. So you have a week to review it before our meeting on the 14th. On the 14th, we will be approving the document. All right. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Patsy, did you have a question?
I didn't.
Okay. Your triangle thing lit up and I was like, okay.
Oh, sorry.
No. Just since I want to make sure I didn't overlook anyone. Okay, so also we talked about in October, I went back to our minutes in October and we talked about that we wanted to do something or send something to the committee members that were prior, that had prior service that just rolled off, but we didn't go any further than that. So please send me your ideas on what we want to send. The prior members that just rolled off, they all did like 6 terms or over. So we really want to acknowledge their service. So send me some ideas. All right. Anyone have any community events that they would like to share with the commission? I'm adding in our new business community events line for every month. So I want us to share things that are going on that we could either participate in or attend. So if things are out there that's in your world that you'd like us to share, please do. Trey asked us, Trey, are you still going to?
No, I need to do more research before I talk about it.
Okay.
Sorry, Mary. If you can, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tati, I can ask.
Okay, I belong to an organization, Diamante Inc., and we celebrate the Three Kings Day. And what we do is for families that are underprivileged. On the January 6th, even though we're located in Cary, in January 6th, families register in our website and we give gifts to the children under 12, because when they go over 12 years old, it's very hard to get gifts. And then we also give them a week of groceries. So I will send that information no matter where you live in Wake County. If you register online, this year, we normally have the Three Kings Parade, but this year we can't. So we're having a drive-through for the families to come and pick up the toys and also learn about the Hispanic culture. And also we give them groceries for 1 week. So I will send out to you or to Dr. Caesar the website for the Amante, that families that, because this year we have a lot of needs and there's not enough resources for families that are going to struggle. So I will send out that website so families could register before, I think it's the 23rd of December. This way we'll be able to give a little hope and a little cheers to those families that are going to a lot of struggling during this time.
Well, thank you for that work that you're doing.
I have a question for Trey and the Communications Committee. Along the lines, Mary, of what you were saying, if we can get more involved and how we can be, community event type things. I feel like we talked about it before, but we have not built an audience yet of people who, first of all, we need to let people know that this meeting is actually happening, right? So we need more people to participate, from the community, or we wanted to invite guests, or I think we just need to focus on maybe, if you don't mind, please, Trey, look into maybe whatever audience, how can we build an audience for maybe newsletter from Dr. Caesar or something, because I think people enjoy that. I don't really enjoy newsletters, but I would definitely read something about HRC and our community. So there's people that send these things all the time. Like one of them is Triangle on the Cheap, for example. They send community stuff, free stuff for the community. There's another one, is called Raleigh something. I'll send them to you. But I think we need to start working on that now that we have all the support. If you guys don't mind, look into it and see how we can support you guys doing that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to respond. That's something that Tori and Mary both brought up in our first meeting, was that finding a way to get an audience. I think that's going to be something we're going to target on heavy.
And I know I started receiving emails about the different meetings that's going on. It's been very helpful for me. And so I'm sure being a part of HRC is what triggered that. But I don't know of how others can get the same emails. But now I can write it on my calendar and I'm more informed about the different meetings that's going on in the community. So that might be something that we let others know about, how they can get connected the same way that my email got connected.
There's another thing, I don't know if we're aware, and I think it's something that, I don't know how the commission will be involved. It's called North Carolina Med Assist. And like this Saturday, they are going to have an event that families could come through. Get like, you know, over-the-counter medicine, like cough medicine, aspirin, and stuff like that. So I don't know if we're aware of that. And it's gonna be where the new YMCA is in Southeast Raleigh. So I'm gonna see if I forward this information to see if, you know, all of us know someone that it could be shared for these basic medicines that some family cannot afford.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share?
I have something I want to share. And it's, I guess it's an announcement. Since you were saying community events, as well as I guess a question for the whole, in regards to our involvement in one of the I guess biggest things that's taking place in our city with this Downtown South project. So I guess I'll start off saying I know that Councilmember David Cox is hosting a meeting right now about the Downtown South project via Zoom. So I think you can find that information on his Facebook page. That's where I found it at, for those who are familiar with what is taking place with the project, as well as if you're not familiar with it and you want to kind of figure out what's going on. I think this might be a good place for you to kind of tap in and kind of get some information. As well as I know Lavelle Moten, who's the basketball coach at North Carolina Central. He has a development company, Raleigh Raised Development, who announced earlier this week that they'll be involved in the project as well. And he's hosting a meeting tomorrow night at 7:00 p.m. via Zoom to kind of discuss his involvement with the project, as well as to kind of hear from the community. So that's the announcement part. I guess my question at this point is, what is our involvement with the project as a commission? Because a lot of what's taking place with the project does fall under some of the work with our subcommittees when we start talking about public safety. I know Dr. Caesar had mentioned thinking of public safety in a broader scope. And when she said that, the first thing I thought about was the flooding that they mentioned that might be a result of this project taking place in our city. So that was just one of the ways I was kind of thinking of how this project connects to us as a commission, as well as I know that things with this project are moving very fast. And I know there's a lot of pieces to it, and there are a lot of people already at these tables. But even so, I think with us just being a commission with the city, I just want us to get information from these people, as well as anything we can do to make it easier for a community to get this information as well. I would love for us to do so. So that's pretty much what I kind of wanted to bring to the group.
Yeah, I think we have to get ourselves organized, and I mean I attended the planning committee meeting because they were voting on this Downtown South. It was good to see the thought and due diligence that group is doing around the work that they do. So that's why I'm also proposing for people to just get educated of what other groups are doing. So I don't know where we step in to this, because this is like a freight train. So I don't know, Byron, where's our place in that? I think for me, it's to get us educated, but I don't know where where our place is right now with that.
Understandable, and I agree as well, Mary, especially with the education piece, because there's so many pieces to the project. That's almost like every call that you do attend or every meeting that you do attend, you're learning something new.
Yeah.
So for those who do have capacity, if you can attend any of these calls or meetings, I definitely suggest you do so, as well as just kind of brainstorm how the work we do with HRC, how we can just make sure that we're able to continue to do that with however this project takes place.
Yeah, and whatever the next steps are, there will be a next step.
Sure.
Thank you for bringing that up.
I think Dr. Caesar, you can probably weigh in on this. I believe the Affordable Housing Committee isn't on this. I think we would probably be stepping our, you know what I mean, like overstepping our boundaries in their area. Are they not involved in that, or the affordable housing?
So affordable housing is outside of our scope. So we have the Fair Housing Hearing Board that we work with. I would say there are a lot of organizations and groups involved with this Downtown South project. So I would say, I would echo what Mary and what Byron has said, is continue educating yourselves to see what your role is. I can tell you, and Marquita can probably speak to if the Fair Housing Hearing Board is involved, but I'd say the Affordable Housing Board it's not really a board, it's like, it's a task force or commission, short. They're definitely, it's on their radar, I will say that.
Marquita, did you want to say something?
No, Dr. Caesar said it all. So the affordable housing piece is on the Fair Housing Hearing Board's radar. And the task, yeah, the affordable housing, I want to call them a task force, but they're not meeting now because their goal was to bring that proposal to council, and council's already looked at it and voted on it. So they're disbanded. But what's going on now, that's in the Fair Housing Hearing Board's purview.
All right. Anyone have any other comments or any new business that they'd like to bring forward? All right. We don't have any actions to vote on this evening. So I will wish everyone a nice, safe holiday, and to bring a smile and joy for this New Year's coming in, because it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Dr. Caesar, when you get a chance, send me an email, please. I need to ask you a question, okay?
Okay, will do.
That's
All right.
Sachi, can you send us the links for the, giving, the donations and stuff, please? Don't forget.
Okay.
All right, everyone have a good holiday, and we'll send off.
Okay, have a blessed holiday. Bye.
Thank you for attending.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.